Check, check.
Check.
How's my sound? Am I loud enough?
You're loud enough to me.
I don't know how I would take that.
I don't either, actually.
Actually, you know what? Step away from the
I could do
microphone.
without you talking at all.
Could you mute like the whole time? That'd be great. Thanks.
Buckle up, literature fans. We're in for some boozy bookgasms today. Join three cousins creating a titillating headspace where steamy romance novels collide with strong cocktails. So, sit back, sip slow, and enjoy the ride.
Hi, literature fans. Welcome back to Boozy Bookgasms. I'm Lynn.
I'm Kim.
I'm Jen.
And tonight we have a really interesting book for you guys, 5,000 Nights of Obsession by Drethi and Axel. It's a Gatsby retelling, dark and kind of savory. So before we dive in, what are we drinking tonight?
Okay, so for tonight, we concocted what is called the Reckoning. This is not just a drink. This is a freaking mood, people. It is perfect. It's intense. I really think of it when Piya and Axel see each other for being apart for years and years and years. It is yummy. It is sexy. It's got some vodka, some mezcal, some creme de cassis, some lime juice, some agave, and some chocolate bitters. Super sexy, seductive burn going down.
Good color.
Love it. Mm-hmm.
It's a really rich, yummy color.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers. So we are going to get into this book. We've talked about it a little bit before. I think we all sort of are the same, but this one was off brand for me. But let's get into the main characters to start. We have Piya. She is our main female character. She is of Indian descent. We have Axel, which is our Gatsby character. So this is a Gatsby retelling. And we have Jay, Piya's husband. And then there's a daughter. So those are the main characters that we'll talk about the most. The book opens up. Piya and her husband Jay are going to go to a party at this very wealthy house in...
It's Long Island.
Okay, thanks.
It's a very Gatsby-esque. I watched Gatsby before I read the book because I wanted to be able to pull things out. So yeah, they were on Long Island and it was very much like the opening of Gatsby. And I was like so excited that it was going to be romantic that way. And then here we go.
Piya and Jay are going to this party. Piya has a best friend. She's an event planner, and they have invited her to this. Piya wants to stay home and have a nice night with her husband, who hasn't been around very much. But he is a networker and wants to go to this party. So they go. They don't know who this elusive, wealthy benefactor is who've been throwing these parties all summer. But it's the first time Piya and Jay have gone. The best friend introduces them to the host, and his name is Axel. He's a musician. Piya starts acting kind of strange about him and runs off. Ends up at the bar. Axel finds her at the bar. They start to talk. You start to get that there's like maybe a backstory here. And her husband Jay says, like, did you know him? And she's like, nope, never seen him before in my life.
She feels him long before she sees him.
He's like up on a balcony staring.
Like a hawk. Prey. It was odd. He was just kind of like, something feels amiss. I don't know what it is.
He said, I didn't take you for a champagne drinker. Because it was kind of cute. She was pulling champagne glasses
Like a
out
fountain.
of a structure.
Fountain.
Yeah, a fountain, but it was for display. But she was like shimmying glasses.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to fall on her. Anyways, he said, I didn't take you for a champagne drinker. And she said, why? And he said, you're too interesting for that.
Yeah, you're not a one ingredient girl.
Definitely flirting with her, but it's making her uncomfortable. And he does realize that she's married now. And this book goes back and forth. And it goes back 14 years where our main character, Piya and Axel, do meet. So they're at Piya's brother's wedding. It's a big, ornate Indian multi-day affair. And we realize that Piya is sort of a fuck-up. She's young. She's like in her early 20s. She's dating a bunch of DJs and scoundrels.
She likes the bad boys.
Can we talk about what a groomzilla her brother was? Oh my God. Coordinated dresses, like, oh my God, your hair is not
ridiculous.
The right way. I was like,
yes.
She's in a bad place with her family. But this guy who works at the venue, he's the DJ, is coming off of a truck and he has equipment and they stare at each other and there's this sort of instant connection that ends ends up being our Axel character. But she's promised her mother, she's promised her friend, she's not going to go back and date a DJ, that she is going to turn her life around. And that's very pivotal in how this kind of unfolds. She basically gets disinvited to her brother's wedding because she shows up in like the wrong outfit and they won't wait 15 minutes for her to go change the outfit. But it was like the shoes were wrong. It wasn't even that much of a difference, but they were horrible to her.
She was wearing the wrong colored jewelry.
It was the wrong colored jewelry, and her hair was not
up and not down.
up or down. I can't remember which was appropriate for that session.
I would have never been able to follow these rules. It was obnoxious. Oh, we should also say she has a career writing raunchy music.
She does jingles.
She does jingles.
For like
less than savory
for condom companies or lingerie companies or whatever. She's actually a graduate of Juilliard.
Kind of random.
She's a incredibly talented musician. And so Jay does flirt with her a little bit. He's like 10-ish years older than her. And they're trying to see if they can't hook the two of them up.
I think
14 years old. He's significantly.
It's a lot.
17. It was significant.
But he ends up getting called back to the city. So he leaves and she's stuck now at this wedding alone with her mad parents and her mad brother. So in order to give her brother a break from herself, she snags like a bottle of champagne and goes and sits on the beach. And Axel, the DJ, comes and finds her. And so they have this connection, and she has a bucket list that she wants to check off. And she kind of wants to just have like one last night of freedom before she has to, do what her parents want her to do. And so he tags along for this night of fun. They go into the city. She'd never been to a strip club before. He did that. Went to a naughty movie, a XXX movie theater. Like, she had all of these things that she just wanted to check off her list. Finally, they circle back to the main venue, sit on the beach, and they make out. They have sex. She's really into him, and he's very into her, but she knows that she can't be with him because she's promised her mom, she's promised her best friend that she will not get with another DJ. And so she leaves him with a note and money. He wanted to be a musician, and she had just gotten a windfall from like a grandparent that died. So she left him $50,000 in a note that said something like, go live out your dreams or be the best version you can be.
It wasn't a blissful evening. There were a lot of issues throughout the whole evening.
He was really pushy. Also, she realizes he's a psychopath.
He's a little bit on the edge most of the night. He's very possessive. He's
very pushy.
Anchors easily. He's very pushy. He's very commanding. I mean, there are so many red flag, and he's definitely
not. And she's like, go away, and he just doesn't.
But she didn't really push him away.
She's like, go away, but you can hang out.
But this is what she does the whole book, which I find really troubling. She knows she shouldn't want to be there, but then she doesn't really push it away. Yeah. She does really like the attention and him.
But she realizes he's not an empath. There's something a little off with him.
Yeah.
Sociopath for sure.
Yeah, it does come up, but not to a place where she goes back, she hangs out with him, she has sex with him on the beach, and she gives him $50,000 to start his career. She has a connection to him, and she wants to see him succeed. And then she walks away. And he, not knowing that she was part of the bridal party, because he saw her there, but she was not talking to any of the family, she never gave him her name. And so he tries to find her after she leaves the one-night stand, and he can't find her anywhere because he has no clue of how she was even at the wedding itself. But so we go back to normal times, and we realize that Axel is the guy, the rich, wealthy party thrower, is the guy that she met on the beach. He's our Gatsby character. Yep. And he took that $50,000 and made a total life for himself. He is now a super famous DJ. He's been doing shows, and he did it, we find out, because he thought that she would find him. She would see him be famous, and she would reach out to him.
He invested in every business he could think of that she might see, so that it was out there.
That she might look him up.
Anything music related, anything like that, so that she would realize it was him.
The first time I read this, I got irritated. The author really tricks you. The way the book was written, you can't tell. And then you go back and read it again, and she uses just the right sleight of word that if you read it back and you know the whole story, you start realizing she knew exactly who he was.
No, she totally did.
But the first time I read it, I didn't realize that. I just thought it was written in a very
I
clever
figured it
way.
out. Like
That's
oh, yeah.
interesting. I read it the first time and went,
Yeah.
he's nuts. He's psycho and he has zero emotion.
Oh, yeah, that part was clear.
Yeah, he was a psycho. He's
But her
obsessed.
relationship with him and her love for him
Oh, no.
was not clear the first read. And then you go back and you're like, oh my gosh, there's clues all along the way.
I got like she knew him. She was obviously really freaked out by him being there. And I do like the way she wrote it, where it's kind of modern time back, as you're piecing this sort of mystery together of who these people are and how they know each other and how they're connected.
Yeah, I got a little long, but yeah, right. This
Yeah,
is a very good
definitely.
writer.
So
Agreed.
we're back in modern times, and Axel now has found her. He has been looking for her for 14 years, and he knows that she is wealthy and basically figured out if he hired this event planner to have a party and host it, invite everybody she knew, that this woman would walk through his door one day. And now she has walked through. The person of his desires is now back within his world. And so he starts to stalk her. The husband goes away. They had just moved to New York from Chicago. They have their daughter in a special school in New York, and they wanted to be close to her. And he had to do a last-minute trip back to Chicago. And so she's now home alone. Daughter's away at boarding school. And our Axel breaks into her house, realizes she's
So messed
he
up.
basically said
Sure
you have to
did.
get divorced in the next 24 hours, and then breaks in, sees the pictures, family pictures, rips out the guy's face, puts the pictures back.
So
Very strange.
creepy. He splits all the family photos up and he's like, oh, I get rid of the daughter too, but that'll make me lose her. Dude, you're nuts.
You basically said, I've been waiting for you for 14 years. Get rid of your husband in the next 24 hours.
He's been back in her life for like 2 hours.
They had just left the
Maybe.
party. And we're realizing that she really loves her husband, but there's something funky going on because she tried to seduce him and he wouldn't let her. There is something under that marriage. So she's struggling and thinks maybe he's cheating on her. Like, anyway, he goes to Chicago. Axel breaks in. He sees she'd had a bottle of wine on the nightstand, but realizes that she bought her husband a bottle of cologne, and he gets mad. He's pissed because she bought him that cologne for no reason. But she must have really loved him. He got pissed off about it. He sprays the cologne on himself.
He was also a little judgy about the wine.
Yeah, he was judgy about the wine. She drank too much. She had like passed out.
But he wasn't judgy about it. He was more mad that obviously your husband doesn't love you because he let you sit here and drink yourself to sleep. He didn't take care of you. This guy's a psycho. He knew where she lived. He knew how to get
Well,
in.
he totally broke into her house. I mean, they live in a very gated community with security guards, and he broke in. He had the means to do that. So he sprays the cologne on himself and then gets in bed with her. And she thinks it's her husband because she's had a few glasses of wine and he smells like her husband. And so he starts to seduce her, and she goes for it because
Seduce?
tries to. Yeah, I mean,
I'd call this rape.
well, it was rape.
I think he screwed her.
Screwed her, but she was in for it because she thought it was her husband until she realized that it wasn't.
I feel like you would know.
I would absolutely know.
I would know.
Oh, she just couldn't open her eyes. She thought it was a
Oh,
dream.
so
and
tired.
right on the
Ah.
cusp of being awake.
She knew. Come on.
No,
Story
that-
gap. Yeah.
That was a reach.
So he does rape her, basically. I mean, she consented through deceit, which is not good, but she figures it out and gets really pissed and starts yelling at him. And he kind of blackmails her and say, what are you talking about? I was just walking by your house.
This is called
and I
gaslighting.
thought you needed help, and then you came on to me.
I'm just
I'm
here
just
to take care of you. I mean, what are you
Yeah, there's
talking
no
about? You're the crazy one. This is gaslighting. Made her feel like an idiot because she was trying to tell him to get out because he's a rapist, which he was. And he made her feel like she was the crazy one.
So he leaves like after she kicks him out. Then she gets really freaked out, packs a bag, and goes to a local hotel and is really freaked out about it, but torn because she does remember him fondly. Now we're into her. She has a kid who's 13, 14 years old. They're in a special school because she's been having trouble at all these schools that she's been in so far because she has lack of empathy as well. And she's a very straightforward person and is very rational.
0 for Foreshadowing.
The daughter, also obviously raised by the husband, really wants to take over the family business. The husband is a multi-generational family business, really big in the Indian community. And so the daughter wants to take over the business, and that's like her life's goal. Piya, she doesn't really understand that, and she has a hard time understanding her daughter, but she goes to the school to visit her daughter on parent day, and who's there but Axel, who's just purchased this school so that he can have access to Piya and
overnight.
Like overnight, like in that day.
24 hours.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. I'll just buy a school and a hotel, by the way.
Hotel.
Who knew you could, like, being a DJ was so lucrative? This guy's like a multi-billionaire.
He had a lot of investments, if you remember.
Apparently.
So she's freaked out, but he goes and asks if he can have lunch with Piya and the daughter. Piya is really wigged out by this. Like, she is very uncomfortable. She doesn't know what's going on. She's looking at her daughter and thinking, like, does she recognize him because he's a DJ or how I know him? He sits there and starts to really relate to the daughter. They're very similar in how they approach the world. And he asks her, leave the daughter there, good school. Come with me. I've got a show. I'm doing my last show, and let me spend the day with you. And she goes with him to the show. So it's like this she has this push-pull the whole time of, like, knowing he's a rapist and not empathetic.
It was a little against her will.
But then
everything
does it.
she did, he
manipulated.
Yeah, he manipulates her.
The daughter wanted to see
inside his brain.
She said, I want to see inside
She
your
wanted
brain.
to give him an MRI
scan. And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? What
tomorrow.
Day? When are we doing
Mhm.
this? And it was like obvious he was connected to her somehow.
He got her to the show by saying, I'll answer any questions you have, because clearly your daughter has the same neurodivergency that I have, and I can help you with her. And he tricked her.
I'm not sure he tricked her. Like, it was very clear.
I don't think he tricked her at all.
Oh,
I think she went along for the ride. He was gross in the sense that he was manipulative.
But it was very clear he was manipulating her.
Knew.
Yeah.
She knew he was manipulating her, and she was for it.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the reason this book felt so long to me is, and it was short, it was like 200 pages. I felt long because I did not care for either of these people.
Yeah.
Right.
Same.
I'm like, what is wrong with you?
They were both pretty despicable. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah.
Lindsay.
So they go to the concert, but there's a lot of people there because the promoter announced it was his last concert or one of his last concerts. And so there's tons of people there, and she's really worried she's going to be seen like hanging out with a DJ rock star and not with her husband, who is in Chicago on a business trip. So he puts a bodyguard on her and says she can't leave without my permission. And if you try to leave, I will pull you on stage with me while I do my act, because he did not want her to go. Got extra security. Then they left, and he took her to his house and essentially, like, kidnapped her at this point and doesn't want her to leave, and starts to tell her how he's infiltrated her life.
This got dark.
Yeah.
Her best friend, the event business, helped it start to fail so that she only could take on him as a client so that he could find her. He manipulated the dad's business. He was a doctor, and he was basically ready to have somebody sue him.
Her dad. Yep.
To sue the dad for malpractice. The mother and brother were both accountants. He had them fire half their clientele in order to take him on as a client, and was going to leave and just let their business go to crumbles. And he told her all of this. And, like, I will do all of these things if you don't divorce your husband and stay with me. And she obviously does not want that, but she still lets him seduce her. But he doesn't have anything on the husband. The husband's file is very light.
See, now this part didn't happen in Gatsby.
Right.
This is where we take a left turn. He just got rich to impress her. He did not blackmail her and threaten the livelihood of everyone in her life.
It got very dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where we were going, I think, Kim. But it's very clear that he's manipulating her.
Yeah, she knows
And
it's
he has
happening.
no feelings about it whatsoever. And she has a hard time with that. Why do you not feel bad about what you were doing to me if you say, or that you love me, or you say you're obsessed with me? And he just doesn't. That's not an emotion that he possesses. So he kidnaps her and keeps her locked in his house for a couple weeks.
I mean, it's a sex fest. It's a day and night sex fest.
All day, all night.
And it's not clear to me, I don't know what you guys thought, but whether it was consensual or not. She made it sound like
I
it wasn't, but
think
then
it was consensual.
you realize later, I think she liked
No,
it.
she did like it. This is why it's a
I think it's consensual. I think that's her kink, is to have that commanding, that manipulative, that you control me. I mean, my God, how many times did he throw her over his shoulder and walk her out of a room?
Mm.
I mean, that's her thing. She wanted that. She didn't have that with prim, proper Jay, who took care of her. He did everything he was supposed to do. He loved her, and he fit the mold of what her parents and her brother wanted for her.
Yeah.
She's a cheater at this point.
She's definitely
yeah,
a cheater. The
totally.
first time when he raped her, you could say, okay, not. But she is definitely a cheater now. And she's doing it, and she knows she's doing it.
And she's doing it more than once.
More than once. So now we start to back up because he doesn't have anything on Jay, but he comes back in the room with a little smirk on his face. And he's figured something out, and we don't know what yet. But Axel has to do his last concert of his tour. And he has to do it because he's contractually obligated. And she somehow convinces him she's not going to go with him to LA because her daughter has like a school event that the mom needs to go to. And so she's also been wondering, where's my husband? Jay left weeks ago to go to Chicago for a business trip. He's not worried about me. He has no idea where I am or what I'm doing. Where is he?
Yeah, he's like one word texting. He's very disconnected.
Yeah, it was weird.
We start jumping back again to 14 years earlier with how did she even end up with Jay, right? He's this super wealthy guy, friend of her brother, and she's this 20-year-old fuck up. How did they get married in 1 month from the night she slept with Axel to the time she got married to Jay? It would have been 1 month. We start to realize after the Axel situation or night with him, she realizes she's pregnant a couple of weeks later. And she knows that this is going to just disappoint her entire family because we're starting to put the pieces together that the daughter is Axel's. She realizes she's pregnant right after her appointment with her OBGYN. She runs into Jay.
I knew the minute they said she was a sociopath.
Oh, totally. Well, and the fact that she got married in a month. And the fact that the girl's surprised, like 15, like, duh.
Yeah.
She runs into Jay at a diner and he proposes, like, listen, I have this situation. My dad is really sick and it's a genetic disease. And I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. But if I even have the option, I'm not going to have kids. And I want kids. And you have a kid. And you don't want to tell your parents you were with this guy. So this is going to work out great. We are going to get married. We are going to move to Chicago. I'm going to get a wife and a kid and a life that I want. And you are going to save face and also have the life that you want. Your parents tell you that you want. And so they did. And they got married and moved to Chicago and had like a beautiful life. He actually had a first love that had died of cancer and she had Axel in her background. And so they really bonded over that second chance at life. And even though the marriage made sense on paper for them, they did fall in love and have a very loving life and raise the daughter together. But while Axel goes to his last show, she sneaks out of the school, buys a flight with cash so that he can't track her, and flies to Chicago to track down her wayward husband, who has not been worried about her while she's basically been trapped in a sex club for the last few weeks.
Trapped. Trapped is in air quotes. I don't think she was trapped.
She was on a sex vacation.
Yeah. Sexation.
We don't see her engage with her husband at all. We fast forward to Axel figuring out that she went to Chicago and he flies straight to Chicago. And she knows he's going to. He's obsessed with her. He's going to follow her. She calls his main manager person and says, you're going to have to come get him. And she sits in her house and waits for him to come so that she can tell him that she knows everything. She knows that Jay's genetic disease came back. Jay was trying to protect her and the daughter. And so he left them in New York so he could go to Chicago and die without them having to deal with the pain of caring for him through this process. She finds out about that and says, you can't make me divorce him right now. This is the worst part of his life. It's not very long and I'm not going to do it. She locks him out of the house and they sit there and talk while he threatens her. And she was like, you're going to have to wait. And calls the cops, files a restraining order.
It was terrifying. He was banging, punching. He broke his hand on
This
the
is
window.
like very West Side
Mhm.
Story, right? Like, Adrian, like you're like, what is happening?
He's
Screaming,
very
he's
aggressive.
banging, he's
Psycho.
bloody.
He was
He was nuts.
aggressive. There was blood splatter on the window, but it was exactly what she wanted. She wanted
course.
enough evidence
to get a restraining
have a
order.
restraining order against him.
She
and it
wasn't
worked.
scared, I don't think, for herself. Like, she just sat on the ground with her back
Well,
to
no,
the glass.
because for whatever reason, they're behind bulletproof glass.
Well, because they're like super wealthy, so they always live like in these very secure.
bulletproof.
Interesting.
He couldn't break it down.
I did find that very
A
interesting.
lot of drive-bys in those wealthy neighborhoods. You got to have the
Yeah,
bulletproof
those gated
glass.
communities.
Yeah.
You never know.
We just got to be machine gun ready at
Could be
all
anybody.
times.
He's very
Anybody.
protective of his family. Axel
Grenades.
gets a 1-year restraining order,
It was 500 days.
100 days.
Yeah, I was going
So
to say
it was
right
it
at.
was very specifically 500 days.
So we find out that the daughter leaves the New York school and comes and hangs out with her mom. And she, as it turns out, the daughter knew that the dad was sick, realized that he had stopped seeing his personal trainer, going to the doctor more often. So she had already figured it out. So the three of them pack up on Jay's yacht and sail the world for a year.
This was
Well, the
sweet.
daughter also knew that Axel was her
Mhm.
father. They didn't tell her who it was. They were watching it on TV or something. But I think the daughter actually put 2 and 2 together.
She asked
Mm.
them and they admitted it because the mom got funky when she saw
At
him
this
on
point,
TV.
she knew and
She
really
did not
didn't care.
Yeah, she didn't
Yeah.
care at
She
all. That wasn't
doesn't
her
have
dad.
any emotions.
But I love that they spent his last days.
I was all teary. This whole part was very sad.
Sweet.
This
Yeah.
part was very sweet.
It was. They had a thing where Jay would always hold both of them, one on each side, and he dies on the yacht holding each of them, which is very sad. So he passes. The daughter goes back to school, is graduating early. The dad left the company in the hands of his second in command to wait for the daughter to be ready. So she's going to go to college and get ready to own the business. Piya then goes to Long Island and finds Axel on the beach where they first made love and said, "I'm ready to be yours." And he said, "You're not going anywhere ever again." The end.
And it's been 5,000 nights.
That's how long he was obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice the green
Yeah,
light?
The green light at the end of the dock.
Yeah, that was a Gatsby thing.
So this book was special. There were parts I liked. I thought the writing was good. I liked the back and forth between past and present, but I did not like either one of them as characters. I didn't find their love story romantic in any way. There was nothing romantic about this story at all. And he manipulated her with her permission, kind of. And
is it manipulation if it's with your permission?
yeah, I mean, because I think if he wouldn't have manipulated her, she would have tried to go back to her husband, but he wouldn't let her. But she was okay with that too.
It just all worked out so good for Piya, who isn't really necessarily a good person.
Yeah.
Everything fell into place where she could wrap things up with the husband and not look like a bad person. He had to stay away because of the 500 days, and that worked out just right for the husband to be able to live out his final days while they were on the boat, and he couldn't come near them, and he wouldn't, even though he's a total psychopath rapist that broke into her house and broke the law all the time. It just was all too
perfect.
Wow, Piya, things really ended beautifully for you. I can't.
Even though you were a cheater who did so many bad things.
It took me a while to figure out the Jay character, the husband character, because he did marry her very fast. We didn't know why at the beginning, right? Then he wants her to go to this party and then leaves immediately for Chicago and then doesn't show up for weeks. And you're like, who is this guy?
I'm like, does he have a gay lover? Is he in an affair? Is he just not into her anymore?
What is
You're
happening?
feeling like, oh, okay, maybe I can see why
justified.
she'd want to have an affair. But then you find out he was perfect and he
was
treated
the
her
perfect
like
guy.
a princess
Yeah.
and he was amazing.
And he knew she...
And he knew the whole time and just shoved her into his arms. And I'm like, what?
I think he wanted her to
be happy.
have love. He
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
that she didn't marry him for love and he didn't marry her for love. They did fall in love and have a beautiful relationship, but they were both in love with other people.
Why not tell her, I'm open to letting you have this
I don't
relationship?
think he
because you're-
was. I don't think she really wanted to have another relationship. I think she wanted to be loyal to her husband.
Oh, I think she did. No, I think she did want that extra relationship because she was like, we don't have sex anymore.
We find out that it's because he was sick and he was trying to protect her.
Right, which makes sense. But at the same time, in her mind, she didn't know that at the time. So she felt kind of
Somewhat
neglected.
justified.
I think it was really hard for him. I think that's why he stepped away. It was really hard for him to see her with someone else, even knowing that he was so sick. So I get why he was like, I'm going to vanish from the whole scene. He knew the whole time.
He was getting out of the way so that she could have this great love affair with the guy that
Her
she was
first
really
love.
maybe in his brain meant to be with.
Father of her child.
Yes. And he was trying to step out of the way.
They had fun together.
I'm glad they're having so much fun, but they're really a psychotic, messed up,
There's
toxic
something wrong with her too.
relationship.
That she
is
still kind of
that's her thing.
Well, the last part of the book was like, I only feel alive when I'm crossing things off the list with Axel. It all went back to that list, and there were still things they hadn't done. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It did all come together.
But that was her thing, right? All of her ex-boyfriends were like that. One of them ripped her whole family off. Every boyfriend she had, they were walking that psychotic line. So it's almost like she's a
She has a type.
Yeah.
Toxicity.
So,
and he
I don't
was
know.
going to always care for her, even if he couldn't really love her. But that was one of the big questions in the book with the therapist. Can somebody who's neurodivergent love? And he said, they think it's love, but it's often not. They will care for you like you're a treasured possession. And that is how he treated her.
It was good for her, but she knew he would never love the daughter. And he admitted.
Oh, yeah.
And because he did say, my whole life's mission is to be with you. This is the only way I know how to love, and I do love you. And that part, I was like, ooh, I like that. Okay.
It's kind of nice.
But then she said, I know you could never have loved our daughter. And he admitted.
Probably not.
You're right.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah. But the daughter could never love him either. The daughter's mission was to be in that legacy, and she loved the dad.
But she's okay with that. And they did have a connection because they were very similar, where he did help her understand her daughter. Her daughter and her was really pissed at her for most of the book. And he had to say, you're not listening to her. And once the mom really started listening to the daughter at Axel's behest, they started bonding again and got their relationship back, which was also nice. So yeah, this book was like, it had really interesting parts. It had some beautifully heartbreaking moments, but their relationship was just not in any way.
It wasn't hot. I did not feel like I wanted to be in this book.
You weren't rooting for them.
No, you were like, maybe Jay will get better.
Well, and Jay was like, Jay was the perfect character.
Like, please, Jay, you got this, Jay.
I know. He was the perfect character. So I'm going to rate it a 2.
Oh.
She wrote it beautifully. I liked the back and forth, present to past. And I do like how it all kind of came together in the end. And the Jay character and how they wrote out his sickness in his last months was tearjerker beautiful. But the couple, I struggled.
Yeah, I gave it a 2.5 because I did think the writing was beautiful. This book was very highly recommended. That's how it landed on our TBR. I love Gatsby, the movie, and I love Great Gatsby, the book. And so I was really excited about this one, but I did not like either character. I did not like the love story. And I thought it just wrapped up a little too neatly for Piya.
Well, it wasn't nearly as harsh as both of you.
Okay.
Which is not usually the case. I gave it a 3. I love Gatsby. Obviously as well. But I loved just some of the imagery for me, like him standing outside, bloody fists, banging on the windows, banging on the doors, her trying to shuffle the champagne glasses. Like I could see all of that. So I felt like the writing, like you said, was really good. The love story was not there for me. It was almost like a Lifetime Movie Network moment throughout the entire thing. Who's going to die? Sadly, it was Jay, not Piya. So yeah,
oh, dang.
I'm just saying.
Savage.
I ended on a 3. Spice level, maybe a 2. Was it consensual? Was it rape? Was it? I don't know.
First
it
scene
just
was
wasn't there
rape.
for
I
me.
think the first scene was definitely rape.
Glad we all agree this is our first rape
that we agree on. I think that was definitely rape.
Because it's the first one that's ever happened.
The other sex scenes, though, I think she did consent, but it was still manipulated and it still felt icky. It felt icky. So even if it was like written hot, I didn't feel good about it.
I just feel like it wasn't manipulation
If
if
you
you
know you're being
know that you're being manipulated and you know the terms. She went through and fixed all the things that he had on her family. I don't feel like it's manipulation if you know you're being manipulated
And
and
you
you
like
still
it.
go along with it and you like it.
And you realize in the end, she loved every minute
she
of
loved
it. And you're
him.
like, what?
She understood where he was, even if she didn't like it, which I don't think she liked it, but she understood where he was coming from.
I don't know if she liked it or didn't like it. If it's, you know how some people like tragedy? They love that
They like
toxicity.
drama.
They love that drama. I just feel like that was her thing. She knew she wore the wrong shoes to the wedding. Oh no, I feel like she perpetuated that drama and reveled in it.
I didn't feel like she reveled in it. I felt like she was always torn, but she didn't do anything different. She still struggled.
She became the perfect wife for Jay. And I think she was bored.
Miserable.
And then he came back and all these memories came flooding back. And then she realized
I'm bored.
apparently this is her dream man.
So the sex for me was a 3. There was good sex, 2.5. But I didn't want to be in any of those sex scenes. The whole thing was icky.
I'm 2, 3, somewhere in there. Same.
No bueno.
No bueno.
Great writing.
Great writing. A lot of people love this book.
Very descriptive. I think it just comes down. I think one of our rules is if you want to be in that scene, and none of us did. So from a book standpoint, it was
Did you laugh? Did you cry? Did you want to be there?
Totally.
Did you just want to watch? Are you a pervert? Like all of those things. I didn't get any of those.
I did laugh and
thought
cry.
I'd throw it in there.
I just didn't want to be there.
Where'd you
I
laugh?
did
I didn't
not.
laugh
There were
at
some
anything.
funny scenes.
I
when he was
laughed at Follow That Cab.
and just some of the ridiculousness, out of
But
him.
that was on our stupid list.
It was.
I still laugh. Finally, something good happened.
All right, readers. Well, thank you so much for listening tonight to our recap of 5,000 Nights of Obsession.
Be sure to find us on TikTok, Insta, Facebook, and now YouTube. Check out boozybookgasms.com for reading lists, cocktail recipes, and episodes of the show. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.
Happy reading.
Happy reading.
Thanks
Bye.
for tuning in. We hope today's episode was the climax of your day, leaving you breathless and wanting more. Until next time, remember to indulge in the pleasures of life and to keep the passion alive. You can find more tantalizing episodes at boozybookgasms.com. Enjoy the ride, and we'll see you soon.